Hello and welcome back, you lovely and amazing people of the internet. We are back with The Outer Worlds. So let's roll to the intro. We are back standing outside Botanical Labs, if I'm saying that right here. And we're looking to obtain a power regulator for our ship, which is back that way. The Unreliable. But before we continue on, like this video and if you're loving The Outer Worlds. And subscribe and turn on post notifications to see more of my videos. Thank you prematurely, as the support is hugely and always appreciated. Anyway, let's get into the good stuff. We're going to go ahead and talk to Grace Romero.
I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along.
I'm looking for Adeline. I need some answers.
Answers, huh? You must be one of those philosophicals. Already got ourselves one of those.
I'm looking for a geothermal plant. Know of any about? Reed said something about former workers living in the wilderness. I'll get out of here. I'm looking for a geothermal plant. Know anything about it?
A geo what? Look, plants ain't my purview. You're better off asking after Adelaide. If you're gonna start wandering around my camp, know that I got my sights on you.
Yes, ma'am. Where can I find Adeline? Adelaide, sorry. Reed said something about, we're just gonna stick to.
Over in the hothouse, tending crop. Enough with the questions. No offense, but I've got a lot on my mind.
I'm trying to figure out how I'm going from the ship. I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna be nice.
You don't know what enough with the questions means? No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. Lady named Zoe went missing some nights ago. Just up and vanished without a trace. Now I'm pacing around wondering if marauders got to her.
I'll keep an eye out. You kid. Always go looking for her. Don't tell me you're scared of a few marauders. I'll keep an eye out.
It's not like Zoe to go wandering. Figured she might be out scavenging, but that ain't exactly her talent. Can't imagine where she's gone. Vale's a wide place. She could be anywhere.
Don't worry, I'll find her.
Appreciate it. Honest.
I've got a few questions, though.
I'll tell you what I can.
Any idea where she might be hiding?
Vex me. If she told anybody, they ain't telling me. I'd check her room, but I got yelled at for snooping once already. Little ways ago. She was always obsessing over her serial dramas. Wanted to see what the fuss was about.
How well do you know her?
Well enough to know we never got on. Zoe and Stefan were close. If anybody knows the workings of her mind, he does.
I don't feel a good way of asking about Stefan, so we'll just change the subject.
What is it?
Just leave her be. Is she or a he? Looks like a she. You guys heard her say get on. That's British or England, whatever you guys want to call it. And if I'm wrong, you can tell me, but I actually have no idea where this check mark is. There it is. Obviously in the big greenhouse, you idiot. She was picking crop. Wow, for a greenhouse though, this is dark. That would be stealing, I'm assuming. Hello.
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear?
You must be Eileen, and just who are you now? I'm not here to drink it.
I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned.
Reed sent me to make peace with you. Is this your greenhouse? Looks like you made a home for yourself out here. I'll ask, is this your greenhouse?
No, dear. The garden belongs to us all. Life is the gift of the universe, and the universe yields its bounty equally, absent of prejudice.
Sorry, I'm distracted. No, dear, the garden. I'm surprised you managed to grow anything out here. Funny. Never knew you could grow tribe in a garden. We got this one.
Ah, cynicism. The privilege of the young. What you need is a little taste of my special mushroom soup. It'll broaden your mind. Or at least your irises.
What?
A home for anyone who's ever turned their backs on Edgewater. A home for those of us with nowhere left to go and nothing to lose. So, like the spores of the puffball, cast on the wind and alighting on fresh soil, we put down new roots.
Alright, one second. I'm really focused on this, I promise, but she reminds me of somebody, and I forgot her name. Oh, I forgot the character's name specifically. I'm looking. I apologize. So I'm on my phone. I'm quite distracted. Wow, why can't I remember? She must not be in the current. Ooh, I didn't want to do that. Character. Have you guys ever seen The Walking Dead? If you guys have seen The Walking Dead, oh wow, I'm so stupid, and I was right. I had the name right. Her name's Carol. You guys remember Carol from The Walking Dead? I'm gonna ask her why. Oh, sorry. So, why did you leave your home? You picked a terrible place to put down roots.
It is an unpleasant story, dear. But the short of it is that sometimes one wakes up and realizes the place that was once her home for much of her life has changed.
I understand.
The home in which we spent our lives has left us behind, and so we must move on. And that is as much as I will say on the subject.
I'm gonna need more for that than that if you want me to save you.
But really quick, before I move on to the story, if you guys haven't seen The Walking Dead, I'm not gonna ruin anything because I've only gotten about halfway through the seasons that have already been posted around this time. But she reminds me of Carol from that movie, where she's really nice, but I feel like there's a bad side to her that I don't understand yet. So I don't really know
who I want to pick and be safe with, but we're gonna go ahead and talk about making peace.
Reed Thompson? You here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then?
Back to the county, that's all it's about. Reed asks you to consider coming back to town. He's willing to make admin something about coming back to town or losing power. I wasn't really listening. Reed asks you to consider coming back to town. He's willing to make admin.
Make amends? Spare me. Only thing Reed knows how to make is a mess. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves.
Reed asked me to divert your power over to him. He mentioned a geothermal plant.
He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans?
Your camp has a power regulator. I need to repair my ship. My reasons are my own. I'm gonna be open.
Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do.
I'll consider it. What have you got against the town? I'm not looking to get mixed up in your problems. I just want to fix my ship. A hero to you, maybe. I'm leaving. I need to know what's...
You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed out workers laboring their lives away at the cannery, living off whatever scraps Spacer's choice throws them. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father died of overwork. His heart gave out.
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and he raised me all by his lonesome.
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them.
You made your point clear enough. I'll see what I do. Leave conversation. You don't much like you throwing that in her face to get me on your side. What do you have against people trying to make a living? Let's say I help you. What happens to Edgewater? I'm leaving. I don't like the way she...
I'm all right. I ain't so fragile.
That was unkind of me. I'm sorry, dear.
I don't know what to do because she won't give me enough information to support her, but then again, I don't feel that what Edgewater's doing is right, and I know I'm overthinking this, but guys, I love story mode. I love the story basis of games, so, what do you have against people trying to make a living? Let's say I help you. What happens to Edgewater? I'm gonna ask that question.
Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down, workers desert in droves, and our own little camp grows and thrives.
I think Reed's just trying to spite you. I'll say I consider it.
I trust you will listen to your conscience.
She kind of just left me to decide. The question is I need a power regulator, despite the fact. Will you tell me anything?
Something you need?
I noticed you mentioned your dad a lot, but never your mother. You mentioned something earlier that I wanted to ask you about. We'll talk later. But go ahead and ask.
That's on account of how I never met her.
You mean she's dead? How is that possible? I'm sorry. I'm gonna apologize and hopefully she'll tell me.
It's hard to miss what you never knew. I don't ponder it over much. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the cannery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here.
Is that normal? Or that's inhumane? I'm gonna say that's inhumane.
It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy math, high-level stuff. Better to raise me on his time than hers.
You mentioned something earlier that I wanted to ask you about.
You mean about the mission being too clean?
It isn't supposed to be clean, it's a church.
I know, but Vickers says the universe is a machine, that it runs by law. Real machines have gunked up oil, scratches, and worn bits. You can tell they've seen handling, been used by folk. The machine Vickers sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's something on a museum shelf, under glass.
You're a mechanic. Whenever you see a machine, it's in need of fixing. It's an ideal, not what we live in, but what we strive for. Then why do you want to talk to him? Never been much for religion myself. Why'd you want to talk to him?
The Vicar's about the only soul in the Vale who spends his time thinking on what is and ain't right. It's just that when he looks at me, I feel I disappoint him.
Okay. I was hoping maybe she'd give me some
Advice on the situation, or possibly somebody would open their mouth about how the world that I just got thrown in. Is that a chicken? Hello. Apparently you can't talk to chickens. Makes sense. I'm assuming I'm going in the right direction. I'm really over this. Dude, that is bathroom. What is this? Like, what does this have to do with anything? And now I'm back in the same place I was 5 seconds ago. Alright, well, let's see if I can find anything here.
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
Who would that be? That is a deserter. Is that Thomas?
Keep your wits about you, friend.
You said that's Thomas, and I don't see a Thomas. I see a deserter. Hello, Thomas.
If you're hungry, Steph, keep your wits about you, friend.
I'm really over the gun coming out over and over again. There's Thomas. Wow, over the now. Hello. Oh my.
Didn't see you there. I was just occupying myself with a little engineering. Whoa, Miss Parvati. Hey, you're, how are you? Hi.
Spit it out, man.
Hello.
Are you, are things safe out here? How are you keeping?
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running, just like you. Only I'm not so... Wait, they didn't kick you out, did they?
Oh gosh, no, I'm just along with this fella here.
Are you from town? I mean, you don't exactly look like you're from town.
Just passing through. I'll take that as a compliment. I'm trying to get my ship off the ground. Just passing through.
Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from town or if you were one of us. Something's been chewing at me, you see. Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody here. Camp thinks I'm a mechanical genius, but I couldn't fix a busted chair.
That sounds pretty bad. Never too late to start learning. I could give you a couple pointers. Maybe you should come clean then. Why are you telling me this? You're lucky your camp is full of idiots. Maybe you should come clean then.
I mean to. I mean to do right by my friends, too. They believed I was an engineer, and so I'll make an engineer out of myself. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in a set of 3. If I had my hands on one of those data pads, I could teach myself the ins and outs.
Those are good. My dad kept a copy with him when he was working in the cannery.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. If you could find me even one of those pads, I'd be greatly obliged.
I'll let you know if I find anything. I expect a fair price for trouble. You mentioned 2 pods. What about the 3rd?
I wish I knew. I wagered the town had the full set once upon a time. Where the 3rd's gone, I can't say.
I'll let you know if I find anything.
Would you? I'd be grateful.
I want to ask you something. Sure. See if there's anything else
What's
I
on your
can ask
mind?
them. You say you pretend to be an engineer. How have you been getting away with it? How long have you lived here?
Couple
See if
months.
he'll tell me something.
This camp's my home. People you see milling about, they're my family. At least I think of them that way.
So kind of you.
I owe them my life. Would have died in the wilderness if they hadn't chanced upon me, starving and delirious.
What were you doing in the wilderness? You say you pretended to be an engineer. Why were you in the wilderness?
We all left the cannery for one reason or another. Me? I was let go. Mostly on account of my incompetence. I mean, I was incompetent. I couldn't even survive on my own. Grace found me, Adelaide took me in, I've been on my feet ever since.
You weren't incompetent. You just didn't fit the cannery. Not like here. This place had a U-shaped hole, and now it doesn't.
You could stay, you know. Here. I'd be happy to... I mean, we could really use... oh, this isn't coming out right. If you want, Adelaide would make a place for you.
I'm just gonna say I should go, so you guys aren't sitting here watching me talk to that guy anymore. There was somebody we were supposed to be talking to, though. We're supposed to be going in that direction, which I don't know how to get there, but one second.
Alright, we're back. I thought there was something about us having to go talk to somebody, and I couldn't find it in the stats, so we're just gonna go ahead and see if we can go find that geothermal plant. Bombs. That's really... I died!
I'll be right back whenever it comes back. Alright guys, if there's a weird clip, I walked right into those proximity mines like a dummy, so I died. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Anyways, now that I've paying attention and not just talking to my phone, well, phone being my speaker, anyways, we are gonna go ahead and head over to this geothermal plant and to decide if we're gonna save the little town or the big town. Alright, won't do that, guys. You get stuck. I figured that out the hard way. There is tall grass. I hope we're not hiding from anything. I feel like I might die if I jump from here. Is this taking me? It looks cool. We should explore that. How long are we in the video? We're 24 minutes into the video. Let's go see what this is. My bad, guys. We're distracted. Very distracted. There's a wolf up there. Never mind. We'll explore that later. See, I made you guys think I was distracted, but I'm not. Oh god, there's bird things.
No!
Bird things that apparently want to attack me. And apparently they...
You got him! Don't mess with us!
Did I just get attacked by like flying bats? What kind of game is this? I'm almost out of ammo too.
I always wanted to poke around in here.
Well, Merry Christmas, it's your lucky day. Not that way at least. So I'm assuming we're gonna have to do this back way. Alright guys, we're back. I figured out how to change my gun, though we still don't know how to find a way inside, so at least we're not using a pistol anymore. That's for starters. Alright, well that's a lot easier than shooting it with a low-powered pistol. Sorry for the weird clip. Boys, still learning the game, as you already know.
Look out!
Alright, I'm also learning how to reload. Come on, hon, you can't die on me now. We just started. You're there. Looky there. You have nothing for me. Alright, at least she's reviving. Hello. Looks like we finally found a way in. Can't believe I missed out the first time.
Got it. Inside voices.
Oh, of course. Of course. I forgot to check how many bullets I had. What's up? Oh, there's more of these guys. Yes, I know this is ineffective, but nothing like hitting a box. Oh, no, you're not allowed to look at me. You're not allowed to look at me. Yes. When a robot doesn't listen, hit it. Hopefully this time. Oh, that's not the button. Oh, like ultimate trolling. Not that I have much to say, but cool. That was way harder than the damage could be. But we smacked some robots, and now I feel good. And we didn't die, so you guys gotta be proud of me, somebody. I gotta say, I know I said I'm not one for handguns, but I definitely liked me this little sword axe thing, which is the hand-to-hand gun bat, I guess. Space Choice Automatic Sales Units, vending machines. Vending machines offer items to purchase mostly from one company. This one allows you to sell items to the vending machine. Restricted items vendor can only purchase when you have high enough reputation, skill of 40 and higher. So cool, we can buy things from them. We'll look at that later. It's pretty nifty
The
though.
control room should be off to the right.
Cool.
I hope we're doing the right thing.
Can we not get in here? I first say we can't. Maybe you can jump in here. Oh, cool. That's fancy. For some reason, I wasn't thinking that was gonna happen. Wow, somebody had a bad afternoon. I feel like he has a headache, or will never ever ever have a headache again. But that's okay. Poor guy. Oh, hello. Are you bad?
Well, beginning to...
Here they come!
You know it. We smack robots with sticks because that's how that works, guys. You just smack it with a stick that's a little sharp, and they can never hurt you again. we supposed to be going, and how off track am I? That way. We'll go ahead and head back up. I think this is the way I came in. My bad. Back on point. The mission at hand. The reason we came all this way. So that we could get off the ground. A ship that thinks I'm somebody else. Perfect. Alright. Use terminal. Redirect power. Master control system. Plant status. I don't know what that means. Oh, 22% efficiency. Guys, I'm kind of curious. I don't really know. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm a little bit confused on who I'm redirecting the power to. I could go back up there and read that again, or I could read it again. Actually, I'll just do it real quick. I might just edit this out for you guys. Safety. Yeah, no, so looking at it, I'm not entirely sure who I'm deciding to turn the power to, and there's another robot, which looks utterly scared of me, so I'm just gonna keep going. But I don't know who I'm fighting for. Like, I at this current situation, state, I would prefer...
No, just leave me alone.
Excuse me? Who said that? Are you in here? I don't see anybody.
No, just leave me alone.
It's getting quieter. Higgins! Are you in here?
Go away, Phantom.
You sound scared. Maybe you're scared of me?
Mind the steam. You're liable to get scalded.
Really?
Unexpected. Searching for
Incoming!
unauthorized persons.
I'm really getting tired of Shadow. Who is this Higgins guy? I so prefer this little hook thing. Oh, she's gonna die. Stop hitting my friend. No. Down.
Everyone all right?
I do love that they just sit there and overly worry about my companion, and then I can walk up and shoot them. That is nice. I'm not gonna lie to you. But what I was saying is I've enjoyed the game thoroughly. It's been really fun.
If we send the power to Miss McDevitt, what happens to the veil? Something you need?
Yeah, you were just talking to me. Thomas seemed very fond of you.
He's just interested in fixing stuff. He always used to follow me around, asking me to explain what I was doing. Like a puppy, kinda.
Did she just call him a puppy? I've not lately seen a man with bigger or more obvious crush. Are you sure he nearly fell over when he saw you? The tool he was using was definitely not a wrench. Oh, that's too funny. I want to say it because it's
He never
hilarious.
told me a word to that effect. And since he didn't, I didn't have to say nothing about feeling different. And nothing had to get weird. If he wants to learn about engineering, we should help him get those data pads he wants. I'd like to do that for him.
Aren't you sweet? She was just asking me about the moving the thingy and helping other people, and then it went away. So I don't know if I'm complaining too much already. This game's been really fun, guys. I love
Incoming!
I just want to talk to my friends, the people watching this video. You stop. No, the viewers want, or I want to express my thoughts to the viewers. Stop. there more people shooting me? Oh, now you killed her. Come down. Come here. Come here right now. Right now, who's shooting me? There's more of you. You just stop. Give me your stuff. Now you're done.
Unexpected noise.
Alright, I'm pretty sure that's one I just killed, but it doesn't sound like they're gone. It sounds like I'm still dealing with them because she's still dead. I hope she gets back up. I really do. I hear another robot there. I don't know. There it is. You're the reason my friend won't come back to life. Because she doesn't know how to hide. Thank you. Now stay down. Wake up. Look at that. Poof. She just took reviving pills. But what I was saying for the grateful people that I have that are still watching. The game's really fun. I've really enjoyed it so far. The gameplay is really smooth. I'm going the wrong way. I'm so dumb. The gameplay is really smooth. Everything about it is just generally nice. The only thing I have to complain about is the story. I really, like, right now I'm afraid that when I pull this lever, I'm gonna help the Edgewater City instead of the what are they called? The people under her name. It starts with an A. I don't remember her name. But I'm afraid that when I pull this lever, it's gonna help the city and not the little crew.
The last.
And I personally at this time want to help the little group because I think they're doing it right over the other group, the city itself. I mean, now if I do that, obviously I'm gonna have more problems on my hands, as half of the city's gonna be looking at for me, but
Once we do this, there's no going back. Yeah, huh?
see, and she won't let me talk to her.
Hey, mister? Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do? I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished.
I see your point. I'm ready to make a decision. Roger tells me Edgewater's going to die without workers and power. The deserters are our community. I can't just destroy what they built. Right here in this decision, like, I understand what she's saying and I agree with her, but then again, I don't think I agree with it. God, she looks so sad. It's kind of making it hard to decide.
Miss McDevitt's built something beautiful. Somehow she's talked the ground into giving life again. It's plain to see she's made the Vale a better place. Fed the hungry, tended the sick. Gave a home to those that had none. But Miss McDevitt delights in Edgewater's suffering. She wants to hurt the town. Do you really want to be party to that kind of hatred? Well, that sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big, happy Spacer's Choice family. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. The family must work together in order to survive. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be the only way.
So she's obviously fighting for Edgewater, but I feel that in Edgewater she's struggling Then this video is obviously getting really long. It might be the longest one. It's longer than the intro as of now, but
Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something.
I like hearing from you. Don't worry about it. I barely listen to you. Let's get going.
Really? I mean, wow. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
Again, I feel her opinion. I see what she's saying. I'm not sure. Who I want to choose for, and that's what's bothering me the most. Master control terminal processing. Warning, safety failures detected. High likelihood of moderate to severe structural damage. Redirecting the power is an irreversible process. Are you sure you want to continue? Continue. So, I think at this current moment, I'm gonna have to leave you guys in suspense. So to figure out if I choose Edgewater or the Botanical Laboratory to redirect the power to, guys gotta tune in to see the next episode. So I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching. If you guys are enjoying Outer Worlds, smash that like button so I know I need to make more for you guys. And if you guys enjoy seeing me, hit that like or subscribe button. Hit that turn on those post notifications. I'm very thankful. Anyways, guys, thank you for everything. I'll see you next time. Peace.